Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are watching us from, dear friends. My name is Mark Kovnatsky. I am the artistic director of the online festival of Jewish culture, Jewstival 2021, and I cannot describe how excited and delighted I am to welcome you here to our first festival. Our festival would not have been possible without the support of the ROI community grassroots events program. Thank you so much, guys. To be honest, I have very ambivalent feelings now. For a year now, the world has been living in a pandemic. For many of us, this was a real disaster. We cannot meet as in the old days. We cannot play music, sing songs, dance, just communicate with each other outside the screen. On the other hand, the day before yesterday, we celebrated one of the happiest holidays in the Jewish calendar, namely Purim. And we, my wife, photographer Chanel Kopitman, who is the director of this festival, and I, decided that in the current conditions, people need more than ever before a feeling of joy, communication with each other, and positive emotions. And we decided to host this online festival. On behalf of Chanel and on my own behalf, I'm happy to declare the festival officially open. As we all know, during the Jewish holiday, what is very important is what we call Dvar Torah, literally the word of the Torah, which means discussing a single fragment from the Torah that is shared with others. And since our festival fell on Purim, we thought it would be a good idea to start with that. And therefore, I am very glad and flattered to invite the chief rabbi of the Jewish community of the Republic of Moldova, Shimshon Daniel Izakson, to our virtual stage. Rabbi Shimshon, the microphone is yours.
Good day. Hello, everybody. Just 2 days before, in diaspora, it was one of the most interesting Jewish holidays, the holiday that calls Purim. And today, just today, this holiday is in Jerusalem. It's one of our most interesting holidays. It calls Purim, as I think everybody heard it, like Freiliche Purim, Happy Purim, and all story of those holidays written in the Esther scroll. It calls Megillas Esther in English. This is how it looks like. It's all story of those days that was written thousands years before in those kind of scroll. All story of how God saved Jewish nation in those days. And you know, it's very interesting. Megillas Esther, or the Esther scroll. Megillat Esther, Megillah, the word Megillah is coming from legalot, to open. Esther is coming from the translation of the word is coming from leastir, to close. So what is Megillat Esther? Is when something closed became open, like we had something and we don't know for what is came, what will be, we don't understand it, and then everything like opened and we understand why and for what it all was. All story of Megillas Esther, of how the God saved Jews in those days, it was written in those story. And you know, very interesting things, those story is written without any time, just any time. There's nothing here about the God. It looks like it was just by native way, without something from the God. And the main thing here, to see how God is in those story, and not only in those story, how it is in all our life. Like, this is the way that Judaism learning us to learn, see God everywhere, Just by the way, also we call the God, we call him Makom. What is Makom in Hebrew? Makom, it's place, to learn us that God is in everywhere, just everywhere, every place. There is interesting things here in Megillat Esther. Almost all page is starting from the word Hamelech, Hamelech, the king. And our Chachomim learning us that when when Esther scroll is reading Hamelech Achashverosh, it seems that the Esther scroll is telling us something about Hamelech Achashverosh, the king Achashverosh. And when there is written Hamelech, like a king without a name, it's about the king of the kings, the God. And it's very interesting. You see, we live in our world, and it's difficult for us to see and understand something more than our eyes can see. But those stories must learn us that it don't matter what we see, what is going on. The God has his plan, and it will move somewhere to the good side, how he wants all those story to be look like. No, it's very interesting. All those tradition of how to write the Megillas Esther, it was written before thousands years before, and it was written. The Goin from Vilna says that here is the property that will be actual to all years that our world will stand. And there's interesting things at the end of those story, when the story of Esther told us about 10 sons of Haman that also was killed after him. The story told us that Esther is speaking with the Melech, the king, not King Achashverosh, the king, and the king asked her, Esther Malka, Queen Esther, what do you want? And she is saying that I want that also tomorrow will be killed 10 from people that hates you. And it's interesting because it's part of stories told after already 10 sons of Haman was killed. And what story want to tell us? And the story want to tell us how we can understand it. And we're just opening those page where Megillat Esther is telling us about there's names of 10 sons of Haman, and we see that all those names are written in with really big letters, but there is 3 letters here that are less than others. Those Taf, those Shin, and those letter Zayin. All of those letters had number equivalent. This one is 400, this one is 300, and this one is 7. So we take them and we have 707. You know, in Jewish calendar today is 5,781 year. We have here 707, and if we count the years, the 5,707 year, it was the year of how it calls, of Nuremberg judgments, when 10 Nazis people that was Jews was killed, was judged and kills as the same as 10 sons of a man who was killed. So also we see in the story how it take us to how it's keeping us and bringing us to understanding that it's not matter what's going on, the God has his plan, and it don't matter how it looks like, everything will be okay. Also, you know, there is two interesting and strange things in Purim. One of them is that in Purim, everybody is wearing carnival clothes, masks, not only those masks, also other masks, and also everybody's drinking. What is going on? It's really not thousand regular when Jews are drinking. For what is? It's to make us feeling and understanding that everything is not how it looks like. When you drunk, you see that what you see is not exactly how it is. That's why we're drinking, to make us sure that things around us are not the same as it looks like. Also, what the matter that we are wearing carnival clothes? We're wearing carnival clothes to understand that not always things are also as they looks like. If somebody is looking good, maybe he's not good, or and it's also the good lesson for all life. So we really must understand that Purim is not simple holiday. It's very, very important holiday with very interesting and special story that was written for us, and that was kept all years. It's also interesting when really important and really deep things can be passed with such a way, like you see, with alcohol, with carnival clothes, with all those Rashanim, Oznei Aman, and other things. So today is the Purim is at Jerusalem. You know, it's in all diaspora is one day in 1 day. It was 2 days before, and today is in Jerusalem. So I think we all must say a Freiliche Purim to Jews that live in Jerusalem, and that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shandy and Mark, and a Freiliche Purim Sameach.
Yesher Koach, Rav Shimshon. Thank you so much for this wonderful Dvar Torah. Dear friends, in a few minutes at 10:30 German time, the next session of our festival awaits us, during which the Jewish chef Laurina Todeseite, who lives in Paris, France, will teach you interesting recipes of Jewish cuisine. Stay tuned.